Torts. We're going to talk about the law of torts in chapter 3.
It's so annoying. You give him a different one other than this one. It's so annoying. I like it. It just takes just
and we'll first differentiate between criminal law and tort law. Last unit we were talking about criminal law. When we look at crime, crime is what we call an offense against society, against the public at large. Therefore, a crime is punishable by imprisonment, okay, because it's against society. So we're kind of taking you out of society when we punish you for a crime. When we're talking about a tort is considered a private wrong, or a wrong committed by one person against another person, or one business against a person, or a business against people, or a business against another business. The wronged party will recover some sort of compensation in the form typically of money for their loss or their injury. And in a tort, it doesn't call for the court to it doesn't call for the government to represent the people in the act of punishing the person that's committing the tort. It's the person against another person, or the business against a business or persons. Some actions, though, can be considered both a crime and a tort, and we'll spend most of our beginning part of this discussion talking about those torts that are also potentially crimes. So, for instance, if we were to look at a situation where somebody kills their wife, let's say Dr. Smith kills his wife. He goes to prison. He's convicted of the murder of his wife. On behalf of his children, the family can sue Dr. Smith for wrongful death. Okay, so criminally, he'll go to jail. He'll be punished. Civilly, the family can sue him for monetary compensation to be awarded to the children, so that they're compensated for their loss of their mother. Yes?
Well, tort cases, like, the tort part itself will always be civil?
Always. Correct. Right. And that's not considered double jeopardy either, because there are two different types of criminal cases. Court cases. One's a criminal court case and one is a civil court case. Two different things. When we're dealing with double jeopardy, we're always talking about somebody trying to be convicted of the same crime twice. That's it. In this case, we're dealing with a civil offense and a criminal offense. So the law of torts is grounded in the concept of rights. And basically what that means is that our rights, we all have rights in our society, but our rights can't infringe upon somebody else's rights. Okay? So, we are all considered to have the right to be free from bodily harm, enjoy a good reputation, conduct business in an unwarranted, without unwarranted interference. And the law says that we all have to respect the rights that other people have. So we can't infringe upon them. So my rights butt up against your rights. So tort law, it said, is like the interplay between our rights and our duties. So our duty here is to respect the rights of others, is basically the bottom line. So there are certain elements associated with torts when we're dealing with respecting the rights of others. First right is that innocent parties possess rights. The second thing is that the tortfeasor has in some way violated the rights of the other party, the innocent party. And the third thing is there has to be an injury. If any one of those three elements is not present, then a tort couldn't have been committed. So all three, so you have to note there, make sure you note there, all three have to be present.
We can do it.
Oops, sorry, sure. Good? So the parties to a tort case. We kind of discussed this previously when we did court procedure. The parties to a civil court case are plaintiff, who is the victim or the injured party, and the defendant. The defendant is called the tortfeasor, the person who has committed the tort. Torts can be broken down into two big categories of torts. Intentional torts and unintentional torts. Today we're going to focus only on intentional torts. An intentional tort is any tort where a person knows and desires the consequences of his or her actions. There are torts that are considered against the person. And these are the torts that are considered against a person. Assault, battery, false imprisonment, defamation, invasion of privacy, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Those are all torts against a person. And then there are torts against property. And there are 4 torts against property: trespass, conversion, nuisance, and disparagements. What we're going to do is shift gears over to our intentional torts sheet. You guys have a worksheet on intentional torts. So we're going to shift over to our worksheet on intentional